I'm Clayton from Celldweller, and you're watching Resistance TV. Don't go anywhere.
Hi guys, I'm backstage at Resistance 2013. I'm Gad Europa.
And I'm Sean Europa.
And I'm with Clayton from Celldweller. Hey Clayton, it's really good to see you in the UK, and you're a real veteran of the electronic music scene, but this is like your first UK show, isn't it?
First UK show. It's hard to believe for
How's
me.
it taken so long?
A little disappointing knowing that London, according to Facebook, London is the biggest fan base, centralized fan base that I have in the entire world. And this is the first time I've even been to the UK.
Have you just been like too busy, or is it just not the right time? Or?
I've had really bad booking agents, and I'm doing a lot in the studio, so a combination of those things. You guys were the first ones to really pursue bringing me here, which is, I was like, let's do this.
Now obviously you've only just flown in, so you've not had a chance to catch any of the bands, but are there any bands on the bill you go, oh, I wish I could have seen those guys? Because like...
You know, that's the sad news, is I don't even know who else is on the bill. Generally, like, I was in Munich last night, pretty much no sleep from the US.
You must be shattered.
So we haven't slept a whole lot, so it took me a few minutes today to remember where I was. So pretty much, you know, when I see somebody and I'm inspired by it, then I'm like, okay, who is that?
So, talking about inspiration, if I sort of got your MP3 player off you and I put it on random shuffle, what sort of tracks will I hear? Like, what are you listening to at the moment? What's inspiring you?
It's not trap, I can tell you that, if you guys know what trap is.
No.
Oh, that's great. You don't know what trap is in the UK? That's great.
What's trap?
That's what's kind of blowing up in the US. It's the next version. It's the next movement in electronic music, which is basically, it's hip hop with just little rave sounds, and it's the most boring music you can pretty much imagine.
I just recently discovered a hip hop band like called Death Grips, like harsh electronics and hip hop.
Okay, yeah,
that doesn't sound like that at all.
This is not harsh. This is not harsh. This is becoming the pop.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm glad you don't even get the trap movement, the trap reference. I listen to a lot of sound design oriented stuff, scores, like movie scores, film composers. There's this artist called Def Center. Their album, Owl Splinters, I listen to. That's pretty much when I read or if I try to go to sleep. It's great, but I don't listen to much music at all that sounds anything like I make. Very little.
So your Wish Upon a Star was released at the end of last year? Was it last year?
Wish Upon a Black Star came out in June 12th of last year.
And are you happy with how it's been received? Is it what you wanted it to be?
I don't even pay attention. The way I work is I work really hard to get to a destination, and when I put it out to the world, that's the last time I don't listen to it. I don't really read the reviews.
So I've achieved that. I put it out.
I'm done. Like, what's next? Yeah. I'm already 3 steps ahead of that. So the way I gauge it is by coming to the shows, and that has been.
You've only announced there's only a couple of tour dates this year, generally in the UK, and you have said you're holding back on touring because you want to work on a new concept.
I need to make some music. I've spent so many years. I have a company called Fixed, which we are an online store, a publicity company, we're a record label, we're a merchandising company. So I spent a lot of time building and developing that, and producing other artists and everything else.
And you mentioned scoring music, because your concept is going to be kind of like music with a score and a script and a story.
I commissioned a book to be written around Wish Upon a Black Star, my last album. So there's a book being written right now, and I'm basically going to score the book. So I'm going to create music for an imaginary movie that doesn't exist yet, but I'm basically setting up so that it can eventually become a movie.
That sounds quite unique. I don't think I don't do that.
That's the thing. I don't know if anybody's done, but a few people have told me, like, I haven't heard anybody do that before. To me, it works. It makes sense in my head. So.
No, I think it's a really interesting idea. One of the things that I loved about on Facebook, you get fan art. I don't know many bands that get fan art.
A lot of fan art.
And actually, we were in the pub on Thursday. I was talking to my friends saying who I was excited about interviewing, and I said that you get fan art, and we've actually had some Resistance fan art for you.
Really?
The unicorn is a Resistance thing.
Can they see that?
Can you zoom in on that, guys?
I'll tag you in. I'll tag you in it on Facebook. But you can keep that.
It'll be. This is mine.
I
can't say that I've ever seen that, especially a unicorn with a red mohawk.
Yeah, if you do get a chance to chat to Jorgen Straftans, ask him about Dorothy the Unicorn. She's been at Resistance Festival.
Kind of like a Resistance mascot these days.
Okay.
So that's why I think.
So I'm writing Dorothy.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool.
You already mentioned your company Fix. Is it Fix One?
Fixed. F-I-X-T. Yep.
Is it hard to balance between like the work and then the creative side of music?
Very, and that is why I have built over the time a really great company, and I've got more employees than I thought I would ever have in my entire life, and they do a great job. So I have started just delegating and saying, okay, you know what? Nobody bother me unless it's an emergency. You guys handle it.
Effective management, though.
Yeah, I never went to school for management. I hated math and I hated business. But when it's your own thing, it's a completely different deal. So at the core, though, all I really want to do is I want to create. I want to create music. I want to create good art in general.
But you did a lot of touring with Wish Upon a Black Star, and you also did a lot of DJing as well.
Yes.
Do you prefer DJing, or do you prefer being on stage?
I prefer performing. DJing to me is not my cup of tea. I know what I'm doing up there, but in general, it's just perceived by people that you're up there just pressing buttons and checking your email, and I'm a musician. That's how I started. So I started doing just straight DJ gigs for a very brief time. In fact, I've never done just straight DJ. I've always done vocals over the top. And not too much longer after, I said I can't do this. So I picked up a guitar and started playing guitar during the set. So my current live show is basically what we're calling a live DJ set. So it's a mixture of DJ where I'm spinning primarily my own productions. I don't play Skrillex or whoever's big. I play most of my own productions, and then I modify all my own tracks, so I'm remixing things and performing over the top.